What is going on, guys? I'm Consumer Tech Review, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the best 144 Hz monitor under $200. I'm going to go over the pros and the cons, and then I'm going to give you some of my own real-life experience that I've had with this monitor. And if at any point during the video you guys want to check out this exact same monitor, I'll have Amazon links below for the US, UK, and Canada. Alright, now jumping right into the pros, the first pro has to be the price. This exact monitor that I'm doing a review of is $155, so well under $200. There is an identical version of it that's a little bit bigger, and that one is just below $200. Moving to the next pro, obviously it has 144 Hz, so we can just skip right over that. Now we're going to talk about the panel. This is a VA panel, and if you guys don't know a whole lot about screens and panels, that's okay. I'm going to explain everything for you. So this is kind of the sweet spot for very budget or just above very budget monitors. TN panels are screens that if you move your head a lot, they're going to drastically shift. It's kind of like what you used to probably have as a kid when you would look down at the screen and everything would turn this crazy green, dark. TN panels are horrible. I really hate them. However, then there's VA panels, and then there's IPS, and then there's OLED. But IPS essentially is much more expensive than a TN and VA, and they're very color accurate. They get a lot brighter. However, VA panels are right in that sweet spot for really inexpensive and so much better than TN panels because they don't have a huge amount of color shift with movement. They do have some. It's not like an IPS, so there's almost none. However, it's not even that noticeable, especially if you're coming from a TN panel or a pretty good IPS. If you're coming from a bad IPS panel, this is still gonna be really good. Now, a little pro tip, if you get this thing, once you take it out of the box, it's not gonna look that good, but if you change it to the color profile of movie, you can actually go in and change everything you want, like your gamma and everything specifically, but if you change it to movie, I've found that's the best one to look the most vibrant and beautiful. Moving to the next pro, this has a 3 millisecond response time. Now you might be like, I could get a 1 millisecond response time for the same price, but again, it's gonna be a TN panel. Please do not get a TN panel. You will not enjoy it unless you're just trying to play CSGO. But if you actually want something that's gonna be nice to look at, bright, fairly color accurate, much more than a TN panel, this is definitely a better option for that. And 3 milliseconds response time, it's good enough for everyone doing games. Now this specific one is 24 inches. Now the reason it's 24 inches is because you get a bigger size monitor, you're gonna want higher resolution, and everything just gets more expensive. So 24 inches is the perfect sweet spot for getting the most out of the monitor, getting the best quality, while still having it a low price point. But I did say there is a 27-inch version of this with all the same specs for just like $40 more. Now moving on to the next pro, this monitor also has FreeSync, which can be used with NVIDIA graphics cards, as you guys know, and it also has overdrive for its response time, which is a great thing to see in such a budget monitor. And the next pro is that it is curved. Yes, it's curved. Who knew? This is an 1800R curve, so it's not crazy curved, and it is a little bit smaller, so you don't really notice it as much as like you would if there was a flat panel in front of you. I'm also very used to using a very curved ultra wide, so this might not be as noticeable to me because I usually use an ultra wide all the time and it's kind of curved around me. However, it's definitely nicer than a flat panel. If you put them together, you'll see the difference. Now, build quality in the stand. So it doesn't come up and down. You can't actually affect the vertical with the stand, but the tilting is very nice, easy to use, and it works very well. The stand is all metal, complete metal. Very surprised that it was all metal. And it's super easy to put together. It is like very small, but it also is kind of good because it doesn't take up very much space and it's extremely balanced. So I have no complaints there. I mean, it was just funny how small it was, but it's like, you can see it's pretty small, but the nice thing about that is it doesn't take up very much space in your desk, so I kind of like that it's small. And it also comes with these little cable management clips, and they actually work really well to cable manage it. You can see I just did a quick little job of cable managing it, but it works very well, surprisingly well. All right, now the ports. This comes with one DisplayPort, which obviously is capable of doing 144 Hz. It then comes with 2 HDMIs, one of them being an HDMI 2, and then another one being a 1.4. So the 1.4 is only gonna be capable of doing 120 Hz at 1080p, while the HDMI 2 can do 144 Hz at 1080p, obviously. And then you have the 3.5mm headphone jack that obviously you can plug in any speaker system that you would like to. Now, This is also another pro. It has built-in speakers. What doesn't this monitor have? It's crazy that they put all of that stuff, a curve, 144 hertz, VA panel, all this stuff, 3 milliseconds response time, FreeSync, and speakers, man. What? Now, obviously, the speakers are not incredible. However, they might be better than, let's say, if you have a laptop and you're trying to get this as an external display, they're probably gonna be better than that. And the last pro to sum up this incredible deal, it can be Vesa mounted. So if you wanna prop this thing up on your desk, you wanna get 2 of those, do a little dual monitor action, you can definitely do that. This one is using the 75mm by 75mm Vesa mount, not the 100mm by 100mm one that my other monitor uses, and probably most monitors will use that, but because this thing only weighs, I think, 5.5 pounds, and that's without the stand. I think it weighs a little bit like 6 pounds with the stand. The nice thing is you can get a really, really nice, very inexpensive stand, like an arm mount for your desk, and mount this thing on there really inexpensively because it doesn't weigh that much. But guys, overall, the real life experience, oh my God, is this thing fun for gaming. Dude, I really was not expecting much because $155 for a 144 hertz monitor is not a lot of money, but wow, did it blow me away. You can honestly game every single day extremely enjoyably on this monitor. And so I test out a lot of high-end gaming gear. I have that luxury to be able to use all this high-end gaming gear, and it makes you forget that you can actually game really well with something that only costs 155 bucks. I could honestly use this thing every single day coming from something much better. Now, I said I was gonna give you the cons. Now, there's a ton of cons with this. However, all those cons would be taking from monitors that are $600 and then putting them on cons. Obviously, it's gonna have some cons. It's a VA panel, not an IPS panel, but for how much it costs, the V panel is insanely good. So I couldn't come up with any cons because for the price point, there aren't any cons. Everything was done perfectly for the price point. I don't think it could have been done better. And I searched for months for the best 144 hertz monitor under $200, and this one is well under $200. And if you want to get that 27-inch, if you have that budget for $200, I think it's a little bit less than $200. I'll have both of them, the 24-inch and the 27-inch. They match identically except for the size. If you do want a bigger display, I'll have both of them linked below for US, UK, and Canada. But I highly recommend this monitor. There aren't any cons that I can list because for the price point, it has everything that I would want. And actually, it gave me a lot more than I was expecting it to have. I was really expecting the overall panel to be a lot worse. I didn't think it was gonna look this nice. I thought it was gonna pack in all these features and not look nice, and that was gonna be a big con, but and ended up really delivering on everything that it said it would. So if you guys do want to go pick this up, remember, change that color mode to movie and you will absolutely love this display even more. And if you enjoyed my review and it helped you out, help me out and throw a like below. And if you guys want to check out my channel, I do a bunch of tech reviews and gaming tech reviews, so definitely consider subscribing. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by Christmas, baby. But this was Consumer Tech Review, and I'll see you guys later.